All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are coming from right now. We got a special episode. We always have a special episode, but we have a very special episode because it is the man, myth, the legend himself, Mr. TonySalazar in the house.
What's up, my brother?
Thank you so much for joining us on the Not an Accident podcast. I'm attorney Kevin. I've gotten better at introducing myself. I used to forget in the beginning. I think I was so nervous and just trying to figure out this wild world of podcasting. So if you have not seen Tony's clips lately, he has gone viral probably, handful of times in even the last month.
A lot. Yeah, I got 20 million views in the last month.
Which is absolutely insane. I just wrote a couple notes just off the dome of what I know about Tony. And obviously we're going to learn a lot more today, but he is the founder of 8 Limbs Creative. He is a father. He is a fiance. He is a business owner, obviously, with 8 Limbs. He is a jujitsu savant. He is a runner. He is a fitness guru, and he is a man of faith. So a lot of different things. And I learned that about you, obviously, not even having conversations, just seeing your content. I mean, you're very public and you're very out there, which is awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate all that.
So when talking about, your content, you as a person and things like that, and we'll get obviously into 8 Limbs and the different businesses that you run and your new business that he's going to announce on the pod. What changes in your life, or when did you decide to make such drastic changes, more or less, and say, listen, I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to be the best father I can be. I'm going to be the best partner I can be. I'm going to be, kind of just make this transition as almost a Renaissance man or a man's man. How did that occur?
It was through a lot of painful processes. So through my divorce, that's what happened. So I've been a lifelong athlete. The fitness aspect was always there. But how that ties into being a better dad and being a better man was when my daughter was 2, me and my ex-wife, Amy, went through divorce. She was like, hey, I'm done, I'm leaving. And it was one of the biggest losses of my life because I lost my daughter half custody. Yeah. Lost the family that I had put so much time into building. And I just moved to St. Pete. So it all happened in COVID. COVID happened. We decided to leave Lakeland, Florida, move to St. Pete, put our roots there. 3 months into us moving there, we split up. I'm alone in a new city with a 2-year-old daughter half the time and a business that wasn't integrated in a new city. So it was this point where I was like, I'm not going to be happy unless I really fix myself and fix my shit. And I had this solitude time to sit in my stuff and be like, what is wrong with me? Where did this fail? So it was a process of me joining a lot of men groups, reading books, getting into online communities about being a better father, what it takes to be a leader of a household, where I failed the first time, and all those things just kind of came to the top. And I was like, okay, I'm going to really hit this as the best I could possibly be, because I had this little daughter that I was like, there's nothing more important than her and being proud of her father. So it was that.
How many times do you see it through this process? And I'm sure you've talked to other men and people in similar situations that have gone through, life, love, and the pursuit of happiness. They want to blame it on everything else. Yeah. They want to blame it. And it sounds like, you said, hey, what can I do? Where can I get better and things like that? So when did you decide to start documenting it and putting that information out there and saying, hey, this is who I am? When did that kind of become comfortable?
That's a great question. Actually, no one's ever asked me that. It was through a time.
See what we did there? Boom.
Yeah, that was great. I get there and I'm like, I'm in St. Pete and I had started to meet a lot of people, and I was getting introduced to a lot of successful men, guys that had the boats, that had the cool cars, that had the businesses, these people that had these things that I thought were the goals for me. And when I got around them all, I was like, oh, they're just regular dudes that are just doing something. That was one. And the other part was, I'm like, okay, where can I edge out my competitive edge? Where can I win amongst all these peers that I had? And I owned a production company. I had video content. But at the time, everything I had done up to this in 2020 was shooting content of other people besides my YouTube vlog and highlighting them. And it just kind of hit me. This was before short form became the thing and Gary Vee was yelling. But I was like, I'm just going to get my own thoughts
because short form has not been around forever. That's only been the last 2 or 3 years that it's really been
about 4. 2021 is when we really started selling it and exploded for us then. But in 2020, people weren't doing it. They weren't doing these yap videos and these rant videos and talking. People were really avoiding that. So social media at this time,
it's all this crazy long form vlogs.
Was vlogs, or it was the Jay Alvarez era of lifestyle content. Look how cool my life is, but there's no actual value or personality there. So I started just making content, and just anything that I was dealing with in my life, friend stuff that I was going on, or social things that saw happen, or this person was disloyal to this person. I was just talking about it on content, getting my voice out there, and I have no problem speaking my mind. That's been kind of my big value in all this. Is you put me in front of a microphone and a camera, and I'm going to speak the same way I would off camera. So I started getting it out, and it started to relate. People started reaching out and they're relating to the content. And all it takes is one message from one dad that's like, hey, bro, that video inspired me, that you're like, there's a purpose here. And so it just kind of added fuel to the fire and just kind of kept hitting it. And now we post about 20 reels a week.
We just had Jose Vega on the podcast, Visionary Vega. And he was talking about, he's like, yeah, I knew of you and stuff like that, but I really appreciate your content about your, like, being a dad and a family man. And that for me was when I had my son, you know, I started kind of going through like similar like epiphanies and stuff like that. We're at home a lot more, caring for a newborn and things like that. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, what kind of person do I want my son to be around? Like, you know, what time do, you know, I want to start instilling in him now the type of people that he needs to surround himself so he avoids, you know, bad situations and people that don't make decisions and stuff like that. So what does that look like? Okay, well, I need to be healthy. I need to make sure that I respect his mother. I need to make sure that, you know, I'm working hard and able to provide and things like that. I want him to see all of those things as a man. So when he grows up, and very similar for my daughter as well, I love they do the reels, like, you know, I take my daughter here so she knows when some boy tries to take her in a convertible to, you know,
to Tulum.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And it's even more so for my daughter that I want her to see, I'm sure similarly to your daughter, how I respect my wife and how a woman's supposed to be honored 100%. And treated and things like that. And I honor my wife so much, she doesn't even have a first name. She's just Mrs. Sullivan, you know, I'm just kidding. So, but I think that's so important. And I think that in this culture, and not, you know, I was a, you know, 20-year-old, you know, knucklehead, you know, skirt chaser and stuff like that. I'm not going to act like, you know, I wasn't, you know, trying to get, you know, girls and et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like we, you know, memorialize that and, you know, support that more than it's like, hey, what does it mean to be like a stand-up guy?
Yeah, that's my whole mission right now, because we're not seeing a lot of it.
No.
It's very void of it. And what you just said, I made a reel about this that resonated a lot with the dads. And I said, one day someone's going to tell your kid, you're just like your father. And it's your job to make sure that lands like a compliment.
That's fantastic.
You know, like your job, like that's going to feel some way to them. Are they going to be like, you're damn right I am? Or they're going to be like, shut up, don't say that.
Yeah.
And it could go either way. And I think that people have gotten away from that. So it's been like, in St. Pete lately, it seems to be the case. In Tampa lately, in these cities, I see the people that it's like, it's not the cool thing right now to be like a good man anymore. It almost seems like it's a city based on money and flex way more than like faith and family and function. And I don't see too much of it. So like, I'm trying to be the voice of that. And I'm realizing that a lot of people resonate with the message.
But it probably, you know, and to kind of build upon what you're saying and then what I was saying previously, you know, it's probably because you have so much experience now. You've seen so much, you've met people, 100%. You've gone through life.
I'm 41 years old.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to tell a 22-year-old kid that's, you know, a recent college grad and's trying to make his way through and stuff like that? So it's a little bit harder to disconnect, but the content has to be out there.
Yeah, I think what you just said, I thought about yesterday, and it was like, I didn't have an answer in my mind, which was that, yes, I've been through a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Like I've been through a lot of seasons of life, a lot of identity shifts, a lot of types of people. So now I'm looking at life through this lens of I have experienced it and I know what is the wrong way and I'm going towards the right way.
Yeah.
But for someone that's 25 years old, it's easy to hear it from someone, oh yeah, easy for you to say because you had it. Like you tried all the flavors of ice cream and candy. I want to experience them once and then I'll decide to get off of them. That's kind of how they're looking at things, you know? And it's hard.
And
because
to that I say, you don't have to get burned by the stove to figure out it's hot.
Right. Yes. There are a few men out there. Like actually my ex-wife's younger brother is one of the few out there with a dad, parented both of them very hard, but it worked on the son. The son is a very Christian man, very good with his finances, very put together. Like he just lives in the way that every dad would want you to live. And he doesn't date and he doesn't do all this crazy stuff. He's waiting to find a woman that he can marry and then he would have sex for the first time. And
That's awesome.
Like, when I see him, he's the anomaly out of most of the people because it's like, it worked with him, but it doesn't work with many people. So
I've talked about that. I said that to my wife and I've said that to other people. I was parented I've talked about it a little bit. My dad was hard on me and rightfully so, showed me how the world worked. And not every kid can deal with that. Some kids, you know, rise to the occasion like I did and are very thankful for the way that I was, you know, explained how the world works. And other kids are like kind of just, you know, ball up and say, dad was mean to me and I can't handle it, you know? So I think you got to kind of, you know, figure out what your kid is and you know, how to talk to them and how to properly relate to them and stuff like that. I mean, I remember, you know, I'll never forget, second place in the skateboarding contest. I was like 10. And he goes, how do you feel? I said, I got second place. He goes, second place is first loser. And I was like, geez, dad.
Yeah.
But you know what? At the end of the day, I mean, winners win, and all of those kind of sayings. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. All those things from a young age made me into the killer that I am today. So, but with my son, got to make sure he can handle the heat as well. And it's a little different in 2026.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
So, what has to happen for a person to say, okay, I'm going to make a change?
They can't stand being who they are anymore.
Yeah.
It's got to be this point where like who they are is too painful for them to tolerate another day. And it takes that. It's like if someone's in moderate pain, they can tolerate moderate pain for a long time. But if they're in extreme pain, they're like, this has to change. I'm going to end this relationship. I'm going to finally start running. I'm going to decide to join the gym, whatever it is. I'm going to buy the cold plunge for the house so I can heal my body that's been hurting so much. Then I can get some more miles on the run. But it's that they can't stand who they are anymore, which is happening to a lot of people.
And you almost have to ask yourself, like, when am I going to stop torturing myself? Mm-hmm. Like, why am I continuing to put myself through this and wake up the next day and still feel the same, pain, emotional anguish, et cetera?
It's hard because if you really think about what intelligence is and how to define intelligence, it's like rate of learning. It's like, how fast does someone learn information?
I remember this from law school. There's like 4. It's like, unconsciously unknown, consciously unknown. But, there's different
so you think like
to it.
Someone does this behavior and then this bad thing happens. So someone that's hyper intelligent, they would learn and they would not repeat the behavior again because they don't want the bad thing to come again. But so many people in society are numb to this. They can be intelligent in their career, but when it comes to their actual life, they're repeating the exact same behaviors over and over and over again, which is coming home, drinking 5 beers, eating microwavable pizza, whatever it is, over and over and over again. And they're gaining weight and they're getting less healthy and their wives are respecting them less. And they know it's bad for them and they're not changing the behavior. And it's wild because you see it, it's so clear to see, but sometimes they don't know the direction or they haven't got the right nudge.
And the other thing is too, I've kind of talked about it and I haven't started making content about it yet, but I've been talking to my trainer about it. And shout out to Adam over at MI40. A lot of the things that to get healthy, to do, how hard is it to turn on the TV and watch a testimonial or church service? How hard is it when you go to the grocery store to grab, a steak or chicken instead of a microwave pizza? It's like a lot of it, we even know what we're supposed to be doing and we still refuse to do it. Like it's almost insanity when you kind of like break it down.
Right. When you look at it, you go, these people are intelligent, but they're not showing it.
Yeah.
And that's where I have a hard challenge because I'm like, I have a hard time ignoring the obvious things.
Yeah.
So for instance, like if I'm in the room with someone and they're like, oh, this guy's so successful, but that guy's 55 pounds overweight. I'm like, that guy?
Yeah.
That guy's not successful. What do you mean? Oh, no, he's killing it. He made 10 million. I said, no, dude, he's losing the game. What do you mean? That guy's like, he just made money. He's missing out on a lot of things. Look at him. I can't just pretend like I'm ignoring this part, it's all part of the same success pie, in my opinion.
We almost have to get to the point where winning with money is not enough.
Yeah, it is not enough. I don't view it as success only. I see a lot of people that are like that. And that's what I said yesterday. I posted a story because I had a conversation. I said, show me the man who has all 4. Did you see this post?
I didn't see it yet. I'll go look at it though.
I said, show me the man who has all 4. Number 1, an exotic.
You post a lot of stuff, man.
I do. A lot, high volume. Show me the man who has all 4. Number 1, an exotic car. Number 2 is physically fit with visible abs, like elite level fitness.
We're getting there.
Number 3, a happy family and wife, right? And number 4, a strong relationship with God. So I was like, show me in the Tampa or St. Pete community the guy who has all those, who's got like an exotic, but who also has the rest of his life and put together. And it's like, it's hard. I had a really hard time finding
I'm one of the closest people I know.
I agree. That's why I brought it up. So I was thinking about you after we talked. And I have a friend named Mina Elias that's in Miami, and he fits in that category. Yeah. He's one of the rare ones. Dude's a savage. And but it's like, it's the rarity. So I'm like, but the car, the watch, the suit, that is where people are viewing the success and they're ignoring the physicality. Or guy's fit and he has a nice vehicle, but his wife is alone because all he does is work.
Yeah.
And she's miserable and the kids don't even know him. And he comes home and he yells and he drinks all night. I'm like, that's not success.
The coolest thing ever, and people have said it 1,000 times, is when you come home and your kid runs up to you.
Dude, and they're happy to see you.
Kevin does it every
Daddy.
day.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Nothing better.
It melts my heart and my world stops every day when I get home. And Christina's been really cool about flexing on bedtimes a little bit and stuff like, hey, I'm on my way home. I'm trying to get, because, I've been trying to,
you don't want to miss
running
that time
and stuff like that. But like, she's been like, hey, I'm going to keep, either Kevin or Emma up a little bit later. So that's been really cool.
Yeah.
What happened to, with all this being said, what has happened to men that we're good enough. You know what I mean? Like they come to that realization, like, like that just lack of excelling.
I'll tell you,
like procrastination almost.
Yeah, it's this age-old thing. It's a Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and like the needs have shifted a little bit. But if you think about a man's true needs right now, it's like there's that little joking quote that's like, if you give a man warm meals and consistent sex, he'll strive for nothing. And that's what's happening. It's like a man can be so subpar in this day and age, and he can still find a woman to cuddle up with and have sex with, and he can still eat food conveniently. So it's like, what else is there? Because right now, like there's not much else you really need as a man, and there's no, like, the thing that I talk about so much, and this is
or not even the sex. I mean, you could log on to OnlyFans and order Uber Eats, and you're chilling.
Correct, right? That's what I mean. It's everything's so comfortable, so easy. I did a podcast a few years ago with Alicia Covey, who's a female sex therapist, and I said something that actually blew her mind, and she was like, "I've never thought about it like that before." And she's like, "Why are men like this?" And I said, "Why?" It's because men are able to see things they haven't earned. So like, think like, for how long in society have you to see a beautiful woman naked? You had to court her, date her, convince her you loved her. Then the moment came where you got the reward, the physical reward that a man is motivated by. Now, you can be 11 years old and grab your phone and start watching porn, which is a lot of kids do. So there's no more earning. Men don't have to earn any of the access anymore. They get it for free, no matter what.
That's mind blowing.
And so
with any of it too. I mean, you go
everything
rent
that's
the car,
earned is good,
you can go put it on a credit card. You could go, you want to lose weight, jump on some,
100%.
Ozempic or this or that. I mean,
so what's the one thing you can't earn in all this? You can't earn walking to the resort with your wife and your family, taking off your shirt and looking like a fucking beast. You can't buy that. No. That is fully earned. And that's why I always believe that's going to be one of the ultimate effects. They're like, dude, that guy lives this. You can see it clearly. So the earning part is hard.
People are attracted to it.
Yes, they're very drawn to that. And I've learned that the long way. But the other part of it is, and I've been saying this, when we spoke at the Biohacking Decoded event, Milena and I spoke on stage, one of the audience Q&As was very valid. And he's like, what would you suggest for someone like me who's 38 and I'm trying to get back in shape? And he's like, I played basketball growing up, and this is what I've said for years. I've been a martial artist my whole life. The only sport I ever played was fighting. My dad put me in it when I was a child. At 5 years old, I'm 41, I'm still actively training. I've never stopped. That wasn't planned, but that ended up being like the life hack of my entire life because I never stopped playing my sport. My sport never ended. It never ended. So I'm still in a competitive environment with men, hold each other accountable, roast each other, talk shit, military vibes. You better show up at practice or you're a pussy. That is the vibe that I'm still in. Very valuable. Most men, they play some ball sport. High school ends, it's done for life. Maybe they play in college, but then it's done for life. So they're no longer around any men that are holding them accountable. Once they hit the career space, that no one's holding them accountable on anything else besides the career work.
Wow.
So there's no more accountability. Like I came from a highly competitive jiu-jitsu team where it's like, you wouldn't go out drinking on Saturday night.
Self-motivated. I mean, very few people, You
wouldn't go drinking on Saturday night because your team needed you on Sunday morning for competition. We all needed you there, Kevin, because you're a training body for us. We need to all train together. So you had this. And if you didn't, we'd all roast you for that. And you'd feel, God, all the peers are like, And men don't have that anymore. So men need that. But the challenge is we have this avoidance style society where men can maintain the areas that they feel their ego is stroked in. And the areas they're not, they just avoid it. They avoid the pool party. They avoid the boat day. They avoid the resort pool. They go to the entrepreneur events. They go to the car clubs only because the car clubs where they feel good, but at a fitness event, they wouldn't. Do you know what I'm saying? And they can just avoid it. Oh, I'm just going to avoid that. I'm gonna make it seem like fitness isn't important or my wife respecting me isn't important. So it's like, it's created this avoidance style. The same can be said for fitness guys who are broke too. Because it's the same. Like the dudes who are obsessed with fitness and that's all they do, but they haven't ever built the financial wall around their family. I think they're also failing too. So it's like there doesn't seem to be a voice that's pointing men in that full direction. I think the best example would be like a Joe Rogan. He's doing it in the way we're like, oh, okay, you can have it all. Yeah.
I'm trying to unpack everything you just said because that was mind blowing. I'm still going back to the 4 pillars. And you're almost talking about this like 0.001%.
I couldn't think of anyone locally.
Yeah. So, well, that's a problem. I need to change that.
Yeah.
Perfect day video. I want to circle onto that. And I'm never jumping around a little bit. You made this video that I talked to you about, and I've talked to you a couple of times about, and you filmed your perfect day. How do you recommend other people? I guess, let me take a step back. You almost have to make sure that you have the correct habits in place and then plan your perfect day around that, correct?
Correct. Exactly. Like,
perfect day is physiology, pizza and getting.
But you wouldn't feel good by the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
So that it wouldn't be a perfect day because you'd feel good when you ate the pizza, but then by the time you're on the couch laying there and it's digesting and your energy crashes, you're like, oh fuck, you have food guilt, food shame, And don't get me wrong, I ate pizza. But the perfect day for me is that day that your head hits the pillow and you're like,
I did it.
And you have a low heart rate while you sleep and you fall asleep easy because your day was so complete and full. So like that's the day I'm trying to live every day. So I found out years ago that I just, what is that? If I don't have some sort of movement in my day, I'm not fulfilled. I'm not happy. There are going to be those days where I can't, no problem. That's not going to be the perfect day. But the perfect day for me, waking up, getting some fitness in, whether it's a morning walk like this morning around Crescent Lake, or it's a gym workout, whatever, getting back home, focused work. At some point I would drive Oakley to school during that time, have a conversation, sing songs with her in the morning, getting focused work done for 3-4 hours, not all day. That's what I want to do. Getting up, going for another walk, maybe another afternoon workout, or social connecting, getting on mastermind calls with people that I'm not trying to sell to, I'm collaborating with. I'm talking to people that work with brands, talking to other marketing agencies. We're just talking. We're like we are now. That stimulates that social side of it. Then the end of the day, we cook dinner together, maybe get in the hot tub, a sauna cold plunge, and then alone time with Milena, where our daughter's on around and we're just connecting and just unpacking. You know, that's a perfect day for me.
Why do most people have an issue with identifying that perfect day?
Because household culture has convinced them that they're supposed to just grind work.
Yeah.
But that's what you were saying earlier. I have 41 years of experience to seeing what doesn't work. And I pay attention to patterns really quickly. So for instance, like I can think of, some people locally, a gentleman top of my head right now who has everything on paper that looks like he's successful, but family is miserable. And I know this because we've had conversations about it. Like wife is threatening to leave. Kids don't really know him because the grind is so consuming. It's so much grind that it's like, you don't know how to pull away from the grind because one, you've built your financial wall with 80 hours a week for you or it doesn't work. That's not going to work long-term. Or you feel guilt for not grinding. You haven't learned how to relax. You don't know how to stop and take your family on vacation because you're like, bro, if I don't grind, who am I? You know, it's like.
The biggest thing that I've found, especially recently with expanding my family, is that you life is, and it's almost your dopamine hits. You could call it your dopamine battery. I'm kind of coming up with this now, and I've been kind of developing this.
Yeah. Is
that you have to refill your dopamine battery every 100%. Once in a while. And your battery, could be this big and you may just need, a little hit. So it's, some time with the wife and kids or, going on a little jaunt or going out together and just reestablishing that. It could be a bigger hit where you need to go on a longer vacation or you need to get away or things like that. I think that I have found the most success recently in a last couple of years because I would never call it burnout. I've never burned out because I can keep going. I have no problem with that. It's being able to identify and saying I need a little recharge, and I need to. And recharge does not mean I need to go buy another $300,000 car or $100,000 watch. Recharge means, hey, sweetheart, why don't we take the kids and go to the park for an hour? And I'm going to put my phone to the side, and we're just going to hang out as a family.
Yeah,
you don't have to go. And I think that was the thing, the hustle culture that I was failing at is every time I thought I had to recharge, it was like, okay, I need to go to Miami or I need to go to Disney and I need to drop $5 or $10 grand and I need to go on this like huge jaunt or I need to buy something really expensive from Louis Vuitton and that's going to make me feel better. And that did for a brief period of time. But at the end of the day, to really be fulfilled, it's so much deeper than that.
100%. One of the best things a man can do and needs that recharge and that like wake up.
Or getting a good workout or et cetera, et cetera.
Put on a playlist from 10 years ago. Put on the music you used to listen to 10 years ago and go for a hard workout, whether it's a run or a bike ride or a gym session.
Jonas Brothers.
At the same time, you're going to be feeling high levels of endorphins from the workout and you're going to be listening to music from your past and you're going to remember who you used to be and who you're not anymore. Yeah. At the same time, you're like, you start to have this pride that surges through you like, oh, I'm this dude now. And it's amazing. You come back just ready and fresh.
And I've had that conversation with my wife and we probably have it every couple of weeks where we go and try to reset because I'm like, we've been together a long time, 2014 we started dating. So
that's awesome.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, I mean, when we were in, when she was with me when I was in law school and we lived together and then so on. And I was like, we were broke as shit. We didn't, we were spending money we definitely didn't have. We were happy as can be and we would just kind of figure it out. And now we have all this abundance.
Well,
and it's almost kind of suffocating. You got to take a step back.
Have you heard of the concept called ahedonia?
No.
Okay. So ahedonia is a word that's been a very big topic in the biohacking space for a while. But the way this looks is like ahedonia is the inability to experience pleasure anymore. And it's everyone's experiencing it in some way, shape, or form. Why? You just kind of hit it earlier where when you were broke, The pleasure could be like, we went to a nice restaurant, or we just had
yeah.
a date night at the beach and got pizza and beer, whatever it is. These little moments that mean the world to you, and you're at an all-time high. Life is amazing. I'm in love with you. Things are perfect. So dopamine's at high, oxytocin's at high. Then that's regular. Now you're no longer dating. Now that's your wife. So you buy the first car. You buy the Lamborghini and you have it. It's the coolest thing in the world when it's your first one. A month later, it's just your car. You're used to the sound. You know exactly what it feels like inside. It annoys you in other ways, like other cars do. Like, oh God, I wish it turned better, whatever it is. So now the dopamine's no longer there. Then the next one comes, or the next one comes, the next thing comes. So the concept is like, it's all internal. Dopamine's always self-created. It's always something you make, but we attach it to these external goals so much. Like, I have to get this thing. We have to go to this place. I have to get this girl. I have to achieve this number in the bank. And it's only meaningful the first time. It isn't meaningful the third, fourth, fifth time. So we keep searching for the new thing, right?
100%.
So what people are struggling with, and this is a very massively felt thing, that people are I just don't feel it anymore. I don't know why. The same goal is why I have to keep setting bigger goals. So Tony Robbins talked about this in Hormozy's podcast, where it's like, only way you can be fulfilled is continue growth.
I watched it the first time,
phenomenal.
and it was amazing.
I watched it twice too.
I gotta watch it at least more than once, and like really just like I gotta do it on a Sunday afternoon when the kids are out, and really dissect it, because I heard it was like, I watched it once. I'm like, I kind of got it, but yeah.
I'll take it a step further. What I did the next day was I watched the podcast, and it was so effective to me that the next day when I'm sitting at my desk, I took the link from the podcast, uploaded it into Poppy, which is an AI platform that I love using. And I said, break down every psychological trigger and coach technique that he used to break through Hormozy and identify it for me so I can use it better in my own life. And then it put together the whole form for me. So I'm like, he was doing techniques that he was like pattern interrupting. Who's this guy? Who's this guy? Anabolic Alex, tell me more. Yeah. Who is he? Like, and Hormozy wasn't expecting that. So all his pre-recorded,
which is crazy to think about.
Right, all his stuff that Hormozy's used to firing back as the frame and the authority, he was like, oh, I'm on Tony Robbins. And he had to like set down to that frame. So it was amazing. Amazing podcast. But point of all that was, people are not feeling great anymore. Mm-hmm. And I've experienced this myself too, because like right now I feel rich for everything I've ever wanted. Like I don't want for anything. Where I was talking about the exotic cars, because like I almost bought a Lamborghini Urus for Father's Day and ended up getting the Cybertruck instead. And I think I made the best car decision that I could possibly have made, because I think it's the best vehicle on the road.
As long as it's the best for you.
Because I don't drive.
That's all I say.
I don't have to drive. So I'm getting work done the entire time I'm driving. And that's for me, this technological beast, speakers, the system, everything. But I almost got the Urus. It would have been more, and it would have had so much less tech. And I would have probably wanted to go a little bit faster, a little crazier. Point of it is, every time I've achieved a goal. So I remember like writing in my vision journal 4 years ago, I wanted to have a $35,000 a month. That was the goal. Like, I make $35,000 a month. I kept saying that over and over again. It came so fast. Then it went to $80,000 a month. Then it was $100,000 a month. And it's like, I've just realized like, and when it's the first time reaching it, it's a huge deal. But when it's not, it becomes so regular. It's expected, it's normal, and there's no longer that drip of those feel-good chemicals. So it has to be self-created on other things. That's why I think you have to find your own other goals. You know?
And that's what I've been talking about that with my last couple guests. And that's definitely what I've been trying to do, and find these physical challenges and put myself, because like, I mean, I remember years ago, it was, 7, 8 years ago when I was supposed to start, I was like, I want $100,000 in the bank. Like if I have $100,000.
Yeah, the first time you see it, it's amazing.
I made $100,000, or I have.
But once it stays in there,
it's like,
it's just there every other day. Like,
cool.
I expect to see it. Exactly my point.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't feel.
What do I do now?
I promise you, when you finish your 5K, that morning, when you're done, dude, you are going to feel so incredibly proud, and you're going to ride the high for the whole weekend.
Oh yeah. It's going to be massive. I'm so excited. And it's, by the way, I wanted to thank you. I was thinking about last night or whatever, I was just going through things. You were one of the first people that reached out to me. So thank you. That meant a lot when I started training. So I really appreciate that. That was awesome. Yeah. The first half mile, I did 3.5 miles last night. The first half mile, I'm not saying I'm running the whole 3.5. It's, but we're getting there. And the first half mile is fucking worst. I mean, I'm like, God, this stinks. But once I make it through that first half mile, dude, you're like, when we talked about that kind of like blacked out, like cruise control. I mean, you get your cadence. Yeah.
Once your shins, your knees, and your ankles get some blood flow, then the pain goes away.
You're chilling.
Then you're good. So, but it's always like that first, for me, exactly it's like, I always say like 0.6. At the first 0.6, you're like, let me just get through it. Yeah. And then once you're through it, you're good. And if you take a little rest, you take a 60-second rest, And then you start running again for round 2, round 3, whatever it is. You're like, oh, now I'm in this state.
Yeah.
It's like your transformer has shifted. Your
Dude,
lungs
when
are
I'm at
correct.
2 miles, I'm probably my strongest. I feel like I'm in my stride at that point.
100%. You can go. My buddy Joey just said this. He coined the term because he does the 100-mile races, but the dead man's march. Like he's like, after your first 20, it's all just dead man's march. He's like, you can just you're going to run a slow pace, but you can keep going forever once you've done the first 20. And I've never done, my biggest run's 8 miles. So I've never done anything crazy.
Gnarly.
But I just started last year. So like it's still new.
I did 5.
Dude, that's big.
I got tricked. I was like, I thought it was a 5K in the app, and the Runner app. Shout out, Tony told me about the Runner app. If you're starting to run,
phenomenal app,
huge game changer. And I was like, I looked at a quick line. I was like, oh, 5K, no big deal. And I like ran the first mile, and your mile time is, and I look at it real quick.
4 more left.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm like the little like things only like like a fifth of the way instead of like a third of the way. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh shit, it's 5 miles. So I'm just like running down Bayshore for like an hour and 10 minutes. I'm like, but once I hit about 2.5,
it's always an adventure.
Yeah.
It's a suffer adventure. I think running has become this obsessive thing for me now. I love it. Yeah. And I always cycled. So it's very similar. You go out, you set out.
You have been doing
20 years of biking. You set out on a journey. And the biking for me was like, it's nowhere near as hard as running, but it still wakes you up. You just start riding away from your home. And then you have that first burst. The way home's always worst, but it's like, hey, I just rode 12 miles away from my house. I got to ride back. Yeah. Now it's a 24-mile ride, and I know it's going to happen like that. There's no other way around.
That's what happened to me last night.
Right, you're out running, but it's this journey where like there's a little bit of misery. There's a little bit of, I would rather be not doing this. There's all these annoying feelings during that journey. Even on a Tuesday afternoon workout until you're done. Yeah. When you're done, what do you feel? You're a king of the world. You go home, you're skipping with the wife and family, you're making dinner and making everyone laugh. I'm in the best mood ever.
She said that to me yesterday.
Self-created dopamine. Yeah. I didn't attach dopamine to any other material thing. I attached it to personal work and personal created dopamine. So then I'm a better husband, a better father, way better to be around because I created this good feeling and I'm proud of myself.
I want to say you have almost define the greatest amount of happiness. I'm sure this has been said 1,000 times, but you have to connect your goals to non-monetary things.
100%.
That's the only way I think you can consistently, truly feel successful. Yeah, and you have to take care of yourself and your family and things like that.
Because if you don't create a financial wall around your family. I love
money. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, we all do. We all do. And like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying that. Like, I make so much right now for myself that I'm like, I don't think we need anymore. And we push or grow in the business, but like, for our life to increase from where it is now, the only difference would be we'd be flying private or first class everywhere, which we're not doing. But besides that, I'm living in every bit of it. But it stopped being the only thing I live for because I'm like, hey, this is life right now. Like if we don't stop and live a little bit of it, it's going to be over really quickly. So the other things.
Yeah, I mean, so I've had that conversation. I think there's a handful of things, don't knock it until you try it. I've never flown private. I've flown first class numerous times. I don't know if I'll enter that, even as much money as I have, if I'll ever enter that super.
It's amazing. So I've been on 8 private jet flights with one man named Robert Palmer, who was LPT Realty, RP Fund.
Yeah, of course.
He brought us on for video production, flew us out to Texas for LPT Palmer. Realty.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Robert. Yeah. He does
RP.
That.
We did my 8 Limbs podcast. I interviewed him in his private jet. So that's awesome. PJ podcast. But we did 8 flights with him. And that experience
He's really rich. He's going to get me canceled for making fun of him. I'm so sorry. I know the voice though. I mean,
very, very successful. But after that trip, I was like, damn, like it's going to suck to fly anywhere else. Because we would just pull up at the airport, get on the plane, get off, no security.
I've done it one time. Forgive me. I've done it one time. Yeah.
But the point is, it's not monetary anymore. It's other things. Yeah. And then what's shifted a lot for me is I'm like, instead of just selfish goals, I'm like, am I making my community and the world around me better because of the way I'm living? Because if we're not, like you see the people that like, oh, he's sleeping with beautiful girls. Oh, he bought this really dope car. Oh, look at the watch, look at the outfit. But like, cool. But like, how is he impacting the people around him? Is he is he just making people feel FOMO, or is he impacting? Is he helping? Is he motivating, inspiring? It's like, what do you want to be known for? The way you introduced me today, when you said this is who Tony is, that meant a lot to me because I'm like, I would love to be known for those things than the other things.
Yeah, I think as you grow, and this message probably won't become as relevant until somebody hits their late 20s, early 30s and things like that. And there's a handful of people that'll touch sooner than that. But until you kind of go through life and figure out what really matters, you're probably going to try different things and you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. That's part of life. But, I hope if, even 1 or 2 people see this podcast and are like, man, that really makes sense. And I've had these thoughts and I'm not alone. You know what I mean? And I do want to improve myself. Did you always have this type of confidence?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I wish I could say there was a formula to develop it. But
Me
that's
too, man.
probably that's probably been the area that I've struggled with the longest time in my business and do everything else. Like I own a marketing business, 8 Limbs Creative. And what we've done for the last 8 years is we get people on camera selling their thing. You're an attorney, you're a doctor, whatever it is. We're gonna amplify you and we're gonna make you the thing so people know how to find it. And I've struggled for 8 years at watching people with no charisma, no confidence, no verbal skills, try to coach them. It's hard for them to learn it. So yes, I think I've always had the confidence, but it's because of the way my dad raised me, like we talked about earlier. Like the story I didn't tell you on the phone yesterday, I will tell it now. I'm 8 years old, living in my neighborhood in Lakeland, Florida. My dad's a Colombian physician. This is my father. I was raised by Dr. Dad, Colombian immigrant. That was a citizen. And I had a bully in my neighborhood, an older bully. And I came home one day crying because the bully would take my backpack and hold the back of it and then punch me in the stomach. And it was like a shitty bully. This guy shaped me into who I am today. Yeah. But I came home crying one day. My mom was at work. My dad was home. And my dad locked me out of the house. And in Spanish was like, you can't run away and be a coward. Go handle it. And wouldn't let me come in the house. And it was the wildest thing. So what I did was I snuck into the back of the house, went into his little alcohol cabinet, took a full bottle of Crown Royal in the box with the purple bag that was unopened, and went and bribed the next door Puerto Rican teenagers and was like, I'll give you this if you go take care of this bully with me. And they went over and like beat this kid up and let me talk to him. You better leave me alone. And I was like, that was a dad I was raised by. If you want to learn, I'll put you in martial arts. So at that point I was put into Taekwondo across the street from my house. And then I just kind of went through it. So I think martial arts gave me more confidence than anything else my life has. And that's the unfair advantage I feel like I still have. It's like I'm a jiu-jitsu black belt. That is 0.08% of people who even do jiu-jitsu reach black belt. And it's like, when I've been in rooms, Kevin, I'm talking about this, like you can say millionaire, you can say Iron Man, you can say Navy SEAL. There's these like terms to describe men. And I've watched it where I was new to the area and I would enter a scene where I was like, okay, like I'm underqualified to be in this room, bunch of successful men. John is like, hey, I'm a financial advisor. So-and-so's like, I'm an attorney. So-and-so's like, I'm a dentist. I'm a marketer, but I'm a jiu-jitsu black belt. Whoa, dude, tell me more about that. Whoa, don't want to mess with you, bro. Like the respect weight that carries is crazy. I didn't know it until later. And so that helps a lot because like when you've been through 24 years of jiu-jitsu alone, there's nothing to be not confident about. At the end of the day, like confidence, what is it? It's like, it's experience. Like I know I can handle myself verbally or physically or whatever it is, you know?
I think confidence comes a lot from what makes you different. Like you're saying, like what can you bring to the table? And if you have this different, qualification or something that you've done in your life that you're willing to explain, I think it makes you that much more confident. I think for me, I just, I was never, we were taught to respect everybody and you should never be afraid to go up to anybody and introduce yourself.
Yes.
And that was like one of the biggest things I think my parents, like my dad brought me around he worked for Discount Auto Parts and developed stores for them around the country, or the Southeast rather. So I would meet all his, lawyers and, business associates and things like that. And, it was never an issue to go up to anybody. And then I grew up skateboarding and I met all my favorite pro skateboarders. And I would walk up to whoever and I'd be like, hey man, how's it going? You're so-and-so. I'm Kevin. I love that video part that you were in, yada, yada, yada.
So awesome.
Tell me like whatever. I mean, like I didn't care and I didn't have any shame. And I think the more reps that I got in that, like it, I didn't care. I was shamefully myself. And I think
confidence is crazy, but you can see lack of very quickly. I can see it immediately through posture, through how quickly someone breaks eye contact, or how quickly they change the subject or walk away when they can't participate in the conversation. And so I've seen that is actually the reason why I think I did well in St. Pete. We moved here. We wanted to launch 8 Limbs Creative at the time. We're some marketing agency. It was my personal charisma that I think helped the business. It wasn't anything else. Now, that's why I've seen like what we've done in 5 years with marketing in the area. I see a lot of people start marketing companies and don't make it to the level because they weren't willing to get out there and actually make the connections and get people to actually care what they're doing. And it's hard. It's like without confidence and charisma, it's really hard to amplify who you are.
And I mean, I'm sure, and we'll talk about 8 Limbs in a minute. I'm sure you see it when you're talking to, these lawyers and stuff like that. You look like you're, doing a closing argument. And it's like, this accident occurred and really affected this person's life. And it's like, dude, get excited. Like, hey, have you been in an accident? Like, I'm your guy, blah, blah, this and that and stuff. Like, do you love what you do or not? Like
detailed systems
Yeah.
for coaching them to actually come off competent and charismatic on camera. But to be honest, out of all the clients I worked with, attorneys do the best.
Yeah.
They do better than medical doctors. They do better than realtors or general entrepreneurs. Because they're able to just like true entrepreneur, even a multi-million entrepreneur is able to be in a little room alone and just work behind a computer. They don't need to be super social, but attorneys are social and they're very articulate and well-spoken for the most part.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of just making a little social media exciting, but yes.
Talk about a little bit of negative. Obviously you put out a lot of content. Not everything that you put out is maybe well received. Mm-hmm. How do you deal with the haters?
Oh, I love it because it's nothing grows my confidence faster.
Right there. I love it. Let's go.
I love it. Yeah. That's my point. This is where I feel like this is the case, and I want every man to understand this, right? If you are physically competent, you eliminate 80% of the stress you'll feel in life. The other 20% will come from financially competent. And if you can handle physical and financial, dude, you are worried about nothing. No. You're not worried about anybody. There's no weirdness. There's none of that. So it's like, when I make online content, I'm not even sure which video you're referring to. There's one video that was like, it gained me 14,000 followers, which was...
I'm not talking about any video or anything like that. Just a general, I think a lot of people are afraid to put out... My premise was, I think a lot of people are afraid to put out content because they can't handle the hate.
Yeah.
And so how do you overcome that? How do you deal with that? And that's what I was going
It doesn't affect us much because I feel like me and Milena know who we are already. Like I feel like we're killing it. So we don't really let that bother us. Like people will hate... But healthy, successful people don't do it. So the hate only comes from the bottom of the beer.
I wouldn't even call that for lack of better terms. It just comes with awareness of who you are.
Oh, dude, we got to get insulted. I get insulted for my hair, for weird things I never thought about. Yeah. Like your shoulders are weird, and like they'll say stuff, and I don't care. Like it doesn't bother one bit. It helps a lot when you can get posts that gain negativity. What happens is the people who do support your message will come defend you in the comments, and then they'll be like this army coming to rescue.
I've talked to somebody about that. I forgot which episode it was, but they were talking about that eventually. It was Cesar Hernandez. Mm-hmm. He was talking about, he goes, eventually when you build enough rapport with your audience that you don't even have to defend it. You got people in your comments that'll be like, yo, I know Tony.
But I've also been, exactly. Yeah. But I've also been the kind of guy, like I'll be honest, Kevin, I'm very confrontational. Yeah. So like, if there's been any issue, like any kind of negativity from someone local, the comment would be, I hope you have this energy when I see you in person. It'll happen soon enough. Yeah, and I will do that. So if someone said something rude and 6 months later I saw him in person, the minute I see him, like, hey, remember the last thing you said to me was this? Let's talk about that right now. Yeah. So-and-so's over here. Let's get them together. And people are so uncomfortable with that alone. Not like we're going to try to physically fight, but I'm like, let's talk about it. Speak in person rather than texting or sending anything comments. People just don't like that. But the social media hate, it's the time of it. It's easy to do it.
Somebody I posted, and it was a little bit of a douchey photo. It's me in front of my Lambo, in front of a private plane that we took a couple years ago. Yeah. And I was telling it was like my story post, and it's pinned on there about, how I went from $12,000 in 2017 to, where we are now. And he called me a douche. I was like, man, it was like 3:00 in the afternoon. I'm like, man,
you let it bother you at the time.
This guy, excuse my language, but I'm like, man, and I still get crap about it. So, but it led to, I posted that story and I was like, there's nothing better than at the end of the day I ran like 4 miles that night. I was like going. I mean, I'm like, it was the fuel. I should probably thank that guy. And I was like, there's nothing better at the end of the day than working hard for your clients, hitting a 4-mile run, jumping in your Lamborghini and heading home to your beautiful wife and kids. Dude, I got blown up in the like hearts on the story. I just posted it on my story and it was like, so yeah, I should probably thank that guy, but haters are my motivators, something like that.
100%. There's going to be a lot of it. And you like, I have a soft spot for men. Yeah. It just sounds like I'm harsh because I work with a lot of guys that I talk to.
It's probably a reflection of themselves when they're saying
100%.
That. Yeah.
It's a soft spot. Like imagine being a man who's trying your best to either be fit or financially fit and you're neither. Yeah. And you're seeing men who have all the things, like just excluding fitness and finance, a wife, bro. Like how many men are alone right now and they don't have that love, that person to cuddle with in bed at night and be like, this is what life's about. So when you're when you're void of all those things, I can see how they can make it all very angry at the world. And I don't hold them against it. I'm not gonna be like, hey bro, like I used to be struggling too, man. It's like, it's only comes from a shitty place. It's never someone who thinks they have it all together and then they're hating on you. Yeah. So like, that's how we handle the hate. It's like, they need some help. They need some Jesus in their life, so they really need.
Do you think men are too hard on themselves these days?
No, I don't. I think men should be harder.
Yeah. That was a weird. Okay, go ahead, please. Explain.
I think men should be harder on themselves for sure.
In the right areas.
Yeah, what areas?
You think across the board?
all areas. Yeah, I think
maybe across
self standards are the only ones you're going to be able to. So like, yes, like, but it depends who you're comparing yourself to. This is what I mean. So like, if you're a 25-year-old dude named Johnny and you're lonely and you're broke and you don't have skills yet, and you're comparing yourself to 41-year-old Tony or Kevin, were you 34?
Yeah,
34-year-old Kevin sees a Lambo, sees it. Yeah, don't be hard on yourself because why don't I have these things yet? It's not that. But it's going, hey, use us as proof it's possible and go get it too. Like, you have to get it. No one's going to give it to you. So like you should be hard on yourself. Like, you can get more. You've seen people from the Hermosi podcast.
I think it's more of a lack of celebration. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like I didn't explain that as well as I should have. Your goal is, to do, $35,000 in a month. Don't beat yourself up when you do 35,000. I could have done 40.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Celebrate it.
The only thing I made a video about this yesterday.
I ran my 5K in 35 minutes. I could have done it in 33. Like,
men just don't get hyped. That's the one thing. Like, men don't get respect. That's the one thing that I feel like is like, I made a video yesterday how men and women are different. And I've seen it forever, but like if Milena takes a post and she just posts a general photo of her on the street, it'll be 45 comments of women. Queen, slay, oh my God, an angel, you're incredible. It blows up with female positivity. Men, no one hypes up the man. Let's just say, Kevin, let's just say over the next year, you get in the best possible shape. And you take a really nice photo where you're in an outfit that fits you well, haircut, you're doing the best to look as good as you can. And you take a photo with your wife. There'll be not one comment, Kevin, you look incredible. Kevin, you're amazing. Dude, congrats. It'll be, you're so lucky to have her. You better thank God every day that she's with you. Like, that's the kind of stuff that are so men.
Yeah, I've gotten that stuff before.
Men get that. Men don't get any kind of like kudos.
Yeah.
They'll get it in public sometimes, like if you see someone out, but not on social. So that's where men don't get enough pats on the back. And pats on the back give motivation, but being hard on themselves, they need to be hard on themselves. Yeah. Like, your standards are what you tolerate. So when people have low standards, they'll just go, oh, that's fine. It's fine, bro. I go to the gym sometimes, but you don't look like it. Yeah, but I go.
You don't look like it.
Right? Like that. It doesn't seem like it.
I call it fat fit.
Yes.
I was fat fit for a long time.
Yeah.
I was fat fit. Yeah. We're going to transition over to 8 Lemons Creative, which is your marketing agency. Tell us about it. Tell us what you're doing. 8
Lemons is amazing. 8 Lemons is a huge chunk of my life. So I have a marketing company that I started it 10 years ago when I was a solo videographer, and I've worked with so many business owners. And it's been a really cool journey because we moved out to St. Pete immediately after COVID. Real estate video and media became the biggest thing in demand in the media space. You could make a lot more money selling videos for luxury homes than you could selling short form content to random people.
People were creating entire channels on touring sick homes.
We went hard. We had 4 videographers. We were shooting in Orlando area, Lakeland area, north, like the Clearwood area, and then all of Sarasota and St. Pete and Tampa. It was amazing. We were crushing it. And I found a unique model where I could get, Robert Palmer taught me this in his private jet. I could get paid 10% of agent's commission for luxury houses that would only get paid when it's sold from marketing expenses. So that was when I kind of found my little fit there. So we had to go above video and actually learn marketing systems. We didn't get paid until the house sold. There's a lot more to actually doing a transaction than just social media videos. So it was when I learned that we started building marketing systems, started learning the full rest of it. Not just I make cool videos, but how to actually have lead gen, intake, optimization, follow-up, ads, SEO, emails, negotiating, contracts, everything.
Put together all the systems.
And it's changed a lot over the years. So now the only clients that we take on at 8 Lemons Creative are attorneys, personal injury or medical malpractice, or medical doctors, plastic surgeons, or like primary healthcare. Same thing where it's like somebody with, no offense, kind of a boring education that you have to make a lot of people know about their thing so they can bring in clients. But it's a lot more than just make a video and the client comes in the DMs. Maybe it happens for you because you're actively running your social. Most clients are not coming in Instagram DMs.
No.
So we've built out so many detailed systems to actually crush our PI attorneys. Like Eric Salazar is a great example because he hired us the first month that he left the patient's law that he was with for years. And he has had an incredible year. But from day one, he brought us on. So social media.
Had no idea who he is, and now I do.
Yeah, now you do. Yeah, now the amount of referrals he gets alone is high because other attorneys know who he is.
Yeah, of course.
So we crush from the legal space. So it's like we have a full framework for how attorneys will speak on camera, how to make them come off competent and charismatic on camera with a blend of entertaining videos for social, authority videos for social anchor pieces, and then ads that actually generate leads. The ads generate leads for attorneys are never of the attorney talking. So remember that. The attorneys will tell you, I want the video of me walking and saying, have you been in an accident? Call me. if you give me the chance to prove that, they will never generate more leads in the style of ads that we create. So the authority video is there, the brand awareness pieces are there, and the actual lead generating ads are there. But once the lead comes in for the attorney, then what? Most firms are broken there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I saw this lead came in at 9:54. Did you guys talk to them today yet? Oh, we're going to call them today. It's 4:05.
Yeah, they're gone.
They found someone else. They're ready to go. So then we install the full follow-up systems. We have tons of pre-recorded intake strategies. We actually will go retrain firms on how to handle the intake process.
Isn't that wild?
They don't know how to do it. It's crazy to me. It's not just lawyers, it's also doctors.
I believe it.
And what I found is because the actual degree you got and the degree in medicine they got is so much work, they didn't have a lot of time to focus on the business side. The business side of business, right? So it makes sense.
And that's why I was able to run so quickly.
It's a specialty skill. So at that point, we handle everything from the optimization, the lead tracking, the follow-up, actually prompting them and how to lead that person to book a case. And then we just launched full attorney SEO services, which are doing very, very well. So it's a full service like legal marketing agency.
It's so crazy. That's like mind blowing to me. That hurts my head that you said that there are people out there that don't call their lead. I mean, you got to call a lead. There's a proper time to it. I mean,
5 minutes.
I was saying,
if you don't touch them in 5 minutes, there's a 82% chance they're going to find someone else.
I would say, and personal injury, it's probably less than that.
Yeah, it should be contacted immediately.
Yeah.
So
absolutely crazy to me, but
everyone
out there doing those systems.
We have ads like all the ads that someone, if you reach out to an attorney in Atlanta, one of our clients, you're going to get an immediate text from her and an immediate email from her. And the text is going to be a pre-frame. So like the text would look like this, like, hey, Kevin, I saw you reach out to 8 Limbs Creative. You're looking for some legal help, or we'll switch it to mine. You're looking for some marketing help. We'll be contacting you shortly, but in the meantime, please watch this brief video. Yeah. And there's a link to a video, and the video is the attorney and the VSL saying, here's what you need to do next. Don't post on your social media that you're okay. Do this, don't do this, don't do this, and we'll contact you soon. Boom. And now they're like, all right, cool. They reached out. Yeah. They've seen that guy that they just saw his marketing reach out, and that changes the game already.
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
You also have a new project that we're dropping. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, man, I'm really excited. So it's been a 10-year in the making thing. So like anybody who knows me, who's followed me for years, like I do believe that one of God's purposes of my life is to lead men. I've known that for a long time because I've never chose to put myself in a leadership role ever, but I've always been put in leadership roles. Every job I've ever had, I've been asked to manage or lead. Even when I was in the restaurant business, when I didn't want to be a bartender manager, I just didn't want it. I've done jiu-jitsu for 24 years. I was one of the instructors at my jiu-jitsu team I came from, and I'm one of the only black belts that my coach gave. He actually gave the instructor stripes to, meaning when he's not there, I teach the classes.
That's fantastic.
And I would lead. And over the course of social media, I was like, I'm a marketing guy. I'm going to be a marketing millionaire. But when I put my real life Tony out there, what you were saying, it resonates with you. I have hundreds of men that have been DMing me over the last year with, hey, bro, this video helped me through this. Hey, the thing you said here really helped me through this. Hey, I'm rebuilding my life. I want you to know you're inspiring.
It's changed my content.
So I've been seeing it, and I'm like, okay. And this has been about 6 months ago. I've been really got a lot closer to God through Milena, thankfully.
Wonderful.
And I had this moment where I was like, tell me where I'm supposed to. What is my purpose? Like, what should I do? Because I've always thought that the coach thing was really generic. I'm like, don't be a coach, like an online coach, a fitness coach. What are you going to do? And
you have the Cybertruck though. Yeah. I mean, you have one of the vehicles that you can. You're good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true. So I was praying about it, and I was like, God, like, what is my purpose? What do I do? Like, what do I do? What is the thing that I make the best possible impact on the world with? I wasn't even talking money. I was like, make the best impact. And I'm in the hot tub of my house. Milena had just walked inside, and immediately I got a message from a really close friend of mine named Eric McAvoy. He used to live in St. Pete, successful entrepreneur. And he sent me out of nowhere, complete left field, like a video testimonial. Hey, bro, I want to tell you, you've been such an inspiration in my life. The things you've been telling me about how to find my woman, I have found my wife. I'm going to propose to her.
How rad is
this
that?
Crazy message.
Wow.
Like, I want you to know, like, you are meant to impact men's lives. He sent that out of nowhere. And
That's
I was like,
cool.
I hear you loud and clear. Then I open my Instagram DMs, and there's 2 dudes in my DMs just from that, like within 5 minutes span. Yeah. Hey, bro, do you offer any kind of coaching or mentorship? I'd love to work with you and see how you build your lifestyle. And I'm like, okay, I hear you loud and clear. So that was about 6 months ago. We put a ton of work. So I'm launching a program called The Standard. And the standard is all we talked about today, raising the standard for men. I don't think it's enough anymore for men to say, I got the Lambo. I love Lambos. They're super dope. I know a lot of dudes who I would never trade places with their life or their physical body just to be in a Lambo. So there's a full standard. Do you have the finances you're proud of? If so, great. Are you in a physical body that's going to age well and be dependable for your family? Are you going to be alive long enough for them? And are you going to be the kind of man that your wife and kids go, that's our guy? Like, you see that guy? That's ours. That's our team coming down the stairs. They're not looking at you and feeling like not proud compared to other dads in the area. And is it going to be in a way where you're living a balanced, full energy life where you're like, you can pursue your career, your purpose, or whatever it is with vitality and with this energy, the people you meet and you're impacting well. So the standard is going to be a 1-year program. We're taking men, we're doing 112 biomarkers. The first thing we do is look at their blood. We find out exactly where you're at, how your kidneys function, your cholesterol, everything. There's 2 reasons for this. 1, longevity is more important than aesthetics, but aesthetics are a big part of this. 2, men will pay a lot more attention if they think something's wrong. And there's almost always something wrong. So a man who's just going to the gym, got big shoulders, biceps, you take his blood work though, he's at 28% optimization for health.
Yeah.
Dude's headed to a heart attack. Kidneys aren't functioning. Triglycerides are so high that you're like, how are you sleeping at night? So first thing, we're going to review their lab, do their blood, offer any kind of hormone optimization and peptide therapy that's legal that they want to get.
How many times do you hear, oh yeah, did you hear so-and-so had a heart attack at 50?
It's happening a lot.
It's like they went to the gym 4 times a week. Like, how did they have a heart attack?
Because the gym doesn't stop heart attack.
Correct.
Weightlifting does nothing for heart health.
No.
That's where the running comes into
Correct.
play. But get them healthy, get them fit, and then understand how to balance the lifestyle. So the gentlemen that we're marketing to are men that are 35 to 55 who earn over $200K a year. And that's specific to me because the men who are earning less than that, I think should still be focused on their careers. Like, there's going to be this point, a lot of men are like I tell this, if you're 25, dude, go make money first. Once you have money, you can solve any problem easier. And I think that should be the case. Like, if I don't want to ever see someone go the route where they're like that career bodybuilder, where they're like still a bodybuilder at 38 and they're making 80K a year and they don't have any plan for the future. And I'm like, dude, see, the fitness doesn't have much value now. Like, it doesn't have as much value as it would if you did it, right? But men that can actually take all those things and put it into a lifestyle that builds high performance for them.
I think it's huge. And I think you've really uncovered that it's more than just making money, or it's more than just looking good, or it's more than just having a relationship. Yeah. Obviously, your relationship with God, and I'm a firm believer that is most important. And that's one of the things that I admitted that I need to do better with and get closer with God. And I think it would bring myself a lot of peace and serenity. I think men, like I said, need to raise their standard, but celebrate themselves all at the same time. Yeah. And I think that's very important. I'm going to end with this. And I've been you're the first one I'm going to ask this. And it's a question that I've asked myself many times. And it's a question that I'm moving forward going to end all my podcasts with. When the music stops and you reach the end of your story, what do you want people to say about you?
Yeah, that's what we talked about today. I want people to say that I think the most impactful thing is, dude, he was a phenomenal dad and he made my life better by being in it. That's awesome. That's it. I don't give a shit about, dude, Tony had a 6-pack or Tony even bought the Lambo. It's not a thing for me. I want people like, dude, that dude filled me up full energy when I was around him. That's awesome. What I want. People like, when I was in his presence, I always left fired up. That would make me feel like my life was accomplished.
Well, I definitely feel fired up. We are going to have all of Tony's details in the description below. Obviously, you're going to see a lot of clips and a lot of reels from this episode from both of us, so we're very excited about that. We'll make sure to tag 8 Limbs Creative. We'll make sure to get the information on the standard. And dude, I cannot thank you enough.
Dude, I love
Epic podcast. We actually our producer just came in to cut us off because we probably could have talked for another hour.
Yeah, I agree.
As I always end, it is absolutely no accident that Tony is as successful as he is. And I appreciate you, my dude.
Brother. Thank you so much.
We'll talk soon.
Yeah,
See ya.